Hello Capricorn, kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my videos through subscribing, leaving a thumbs up, a comment, and just viewing it even. You know, that's also all part of it too, but also in sharing the videos. So if you haven't subscribed, you can do that now, during or at the end of the video. So welcome anyway. And this is for Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus. So like if you don't know, if this reading, for instance, is not really, and the messages that are coming through in this session are not fully resonating with you, or if at all, then check out what your other signs are saying for you, because it may be that there is something on your on a soul level or an emotional level, and that will help to, or or that that love, that love, or the Venus sign, level, it's like, or the personality sign level, may bring you some insight to bring this one all together for you. So anyway, just saying. So if you don't know what your other signs are for you, just check out in the description box below. There is a link that will take you to a website that will work it out for you, calculate it out for you, and it is free, that one. And then you can check that out for you. So this is this round of readings and messages is for the rest of August 2021. So today I'm recording this, and it's Thursday the 26th of August 2021. So there's not much of the rest of August, not long to go. Not much left of August to go. 2021, that is. Yeah, anyway, we'll see what comes up for you, Capricorn, at the moment, and to help you with a bit more clarity. What's interesting, I'm just going to say clarity, and that one is the next card that's there, around what is going on for you at the moment. So what is going on for you right now, which is what this is about, and what you might want to consider looking at for you, and how to get out of this or work through this situation, how can you help yourself at the end of the day, and giving you a little bit more insight into that. So I'm going to be using, or I am using, the Energy Earth. Oh no, it's this one, Sacred Earth. I keep calling it Energy Earth. Sacred Earth Oracle deck. So to help bring through the messages, and there are these cards, and I'm just going to do pull out 9 cards from the tarot. Well, actually, they're going to come out for me today, and I'm going to be just drawn to like whatever flips out, or if I'm drawn to stop or something gets stuck. So there's a little bit of a connection of there that's maybe, I feel like some of you are waiting for something, a little bit more information to come. So, and it might be coming in various ways or forms. So this one here, I'm going to take a lot of note in that one, put that one there, because it should have come in first. It came out first, and then the Four of Wands. So there's a lot of chit chat going on in your head with her falling out, and it's just, but this is about you stepping into your power, and not letting your mind or your head get in the way of things. So when I'm talking about power, I'm actually talking about in your truth. Okay, our truth is our power. Our truth is our is being in our power is by honoring ourselves and our truth, and knowing when to say something, and communicate something, and knowing when to shut the frack up as well. So, and knowing what and how, because the communication is, I feel like with her, this is really standing out for me at the moment. It is about communication at the moment with you. And this Queen of Swords coming out is like how you are communicating, what it is that you're feeling, thinking, and doing and wanting to do, and wise, and all those sort of things. So there's a thing about, something about, not overthinking things too. I'm going to take these two as well. Okay, so the first card out here this one is Surface. So I feel like some of you's with emotions, like something is surfing, yeah, or surfacing. So surfing when you're not like sinking in the water, you're floating, or you're moving, fluidly across the top of the water. Well, if you're a good surfer, that is. I am not, so it's going to be a different way for someone who is a very good surfer, and learning how, and and figuring out how to navigate the waves and hold and balance, holding their balance as they're moving, gliding across the water. So there's something about that. So I feel like something is surfacing, or you are about to surface you're about to surface with something, or an idea, or something is just sitting. Oh gosh, there's three things going here. There is something where there is something that is about to surface, and you know something is going on. Some of you, there is something, that there's something underneath there that is about to surface, but you're not too sure about what that is. So I do feel like a good portion of yous are knowing that there is something that is about to surface or come to light, or and it's like surfacing like right now as we speak. Some of you, it's maybe just a little bit, in a word I'm hearing at the back, there is subliminal at the moment. But others of you, I feel like there is that thing about you like surfacing yourself, is like there is something you are surfacing out of something, okay? Or allowing yourself to, something is coming up where you are like allowing yourself to, and you're at the surface of it at the moment, in the transitionary period of coming right out, or coming out of, say, like the water there. But there is something there. I'm just really liking this too, because it's like some of you are in that space of like just literally just floating and letting what is coming to the surface come to the surface, so you can so you can deal with it and see it and move through it. So there are a few things going on there. So, but things are surfacing, or you're coming to the surface of something. Why in the emotional side of it is interesting, because he's the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is like, there's a lot of, he's intuitively knowing more so now where he's going, because he's not letting his emotions get in the way of what he needs to see, the truth of the matter. So it's like, there's that thing about like rising above, his emotions basically. But and also it's like seeing, I'm just loving this, like this, the scepter here, where there is the light is shining. It's like he can see the light now, and he knows where that light is within himself, I'm hearing. And so there's something like that, but also without of himself. So there's that deeper, and especially with relationships, and how you in your relationship, and how you communicate, and how you move, and how you walk, with people, with different, with the different relationships that you've either entered into on a romantic level, in a partnership level, of, whether that's, to do with a relationship as in, a love relationship, or marriage or something like that, or whether it's a business, or something to do with a committee, or something to do with a family member, whatever that is. There's something that there is, it may be all four things that have just like have been at some point have been, something that's come up that's not felt right, but it's like it's starting to clear your way. So I feel like some of you may actually, there may actually be a water sign in your chart, or some in your chart that is, quite, is showing up more often than not at the moment, and recently. But also there may be a male energy that is around you, that is like probably a Cancer, because this, there's the crab there. So, a water sign doesn't necessarily have to be, that is maybe, either pushing your buttons, or was pushing your buttons, but now, and to get you in an emotional state, but now it's like you're more in control of that with yourself. It could be for some of you, there may be a male energy, an older male energy, that is, that person, that is, that is the King of Cups, or the water sign that has been, pushing your buttons basically, or that you've been watching out or over. And there's maybe a sense of, what I'm hearing, of codependency in there in a way, which is like you're not. And because here's the 10 of swords here, it's like there's something shifting where you are more, I feel like, getting out of your head, or you're more shifting things around. You're not letting other people's stuff get in your mind, but you're sorting it all out. It's like get in your mind and get in the way, basically. So it's, in whatever it is there, it's like you're starting to sort it out and release that. So it's like what I'm hearing is releasing. So even though there are all these, these swords that are around you, or around the head of this, and the body of this person, it's like they're not actually touching. at the moment, but the points are quite close. But I feel like with all that light, and then some of them actually are touching, but it's like letting the light in. For some reason, I'm hearing that. So there is like, you're seeing some of them are actually poking her or this person, and it's like, it's been enough to like for you to let the light in and to like help clear your mind. But however, I'm also hearing like some of you are like, there is the swords, or the mind has been getting in the way, but you're not like, you're extracting them, or you're pulling them away, or you're not letting them touch you anymore. So while there are some that are, you know, touching and, you know, may have like poked you a bit to like get, you know, to make you take notice of it, it's like, I feel like because there's some that are and some that aren't, it's like it's enough of, and there's enough of a there to say, you know, I'm over this, I'm ready to release it, and I'm ready to look at it. So, and for some of you may not be quite there yet, but I feel like you may be on the journey to getting here. The Queen of Swords is like she's saying, yes, you know, I'm in my truth, I'm in my power. So there may have been a bit of a struggle to get to this point, but it's like, and you may have gone back and forth, or you've gone, taken a step, maybe gone that way, but, you know, gone back again. But you know what, I feel like this, you know, she's saying like either some of yous are nearly there, or some of yous are, have maybe entered into that space, and it's like, now you've, you know, entered into this space of being more in your basically power, or in the sense that you're communicating probably more in a way of your truth, as in a, and I want to say the word healthier way, whereas before you may have got entrapped and you may have been responded in a way that has not been helpful, basically. So you've fallen into, you know, the trap of arguing back, and it hasn't really helped things. So where you could have maybe just walked away, or just said something different, like, you mean, I'm sorry you felt that, or that's a shame you felt like that, you know, or you feel like that, or you're letting it, you know, you're thinking that way because it's not how I meant it to be. So there's that sort of thing where there is like more of a, not so much a retreat in the way that you've got your tail tucked between your legs. It's more in a retreat is like, oh, no, I'm not going to buy into that shit, you know, or I'm not going to buy into that lie, because it's, I don't know where you're coming from with that, and why you've responded that way. So, but the thing is, like, there's that, you know, reflect, you know, on, yeah, there's like not getting caught up in something. So that's where I feel like there's a beautiful energy, like she's knowing now. Look at the picture of her face and the way she's looking, she's more certain. So whether you're a male energy or a female energy, it's like, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean this Queen of Swords is, you know, for a female energy, but some of you may or may not get that, and that's okay. So the clarity there, so with this card here is clarity. So I feel like there's a little bit more clarity in how you can work around it or maneuver into the next phase, because there's the 10 there, and going into this Queen of Swords, and how you can maneuver your way into this new beginning, basically, because there's an Ace of Wands here that's like, and it's like, I feel like you can, if there's that feeling of like being able to move ahead with something or someone or some project or idea now, because something is like left, you know, is in the background now, because it's like, I now know where I stand, or now know where I am, or I'm glad, you know, you've said something. So it's like there's a relief, and you're now able to like, okay, I'm not wearing that burden of, you know, carrying all these thoughts, because now that I've got it out of my head, or now that I've started making these steps towards, you know, something that is going to serve me well for my highest good, for the greater good of one and all, it's like there is something enabling you to move on, or move forward, or move in a direction, you know, just move, actually, anything, like some sort of movement. Here we have the Lovers, the card there, so that could be like moving towards a new love, or a new love moving towards you, or you're allowing somebody to move in with this new love. Some of you, it may be more so like the new love relationship that you have with yourself, because you've let go of all that stuff. But also now you're feeling like you've been, you know, for some of you, it may be a new love within a relationship that you are already in. And so there is, for some of you, is that it's like you're seeing what it is, you know, the clarity, because you've got this clarity now. And now that you've voiced your opinion, or you've said what you need to say, and to get this clarity, basically to help you, rather than being sitting in your mind, with all these stories that you probably have embellished, and it's not even that. And some of you, it will be like there is something about, like repeated that, and you may not have necessarily, you may have embellished it a bit, but not necessarily, but so that, okay, as much as what you could have done in the past, but it's like, because there's that sense that some of you have, like, you kind of know where you want to go and how you want, but it's just communicating and telling someone about it, or just communicating and getting it out, and maybe someone's, but also maybe to yourself, being honest to yourself, telling yourself the truth about what it is that you're wanting to do, and or something. So for some of you, it's stepping out and telling, and that sense is like just, allowing yourself to speak your truth, to that frees you, and knowing that you are going on the right path, and not necessarily embellished it, what you're wanting to say, but it's the reaction of the person, that you're going, or the people that you maybe have embellished on that, in that sense. Gosh, that was a long way coming out. So anyway, then we have the Four of Wands. So whatever it is that you're doing, or that where you're wanting to go, and when you get it out, it's, to get that clarity when that comes. It's like the Four of Wands is saying, there is something positive that comes out of it, because look, she's standing in the, or she, I'm saying, yep, she is she's created that new beginning there, and she's taken the next step. So you have the Four of Wands there, and the Four of Wands is the Ace of Wands there, then you've moved from the Lovers to this. So something is saying, yep, it's like now, like you're standing in your own light, and now that you've taken that move, you can see, the next step. It's like you can, like, now make see more clearly, and it gives you that feeling that, yes, I've achieved something. I've stepped outside of a circle or a square or whatever it is, out of a space, and you're seeing, and you're feeling a lot better. So it's kind of, it frees you up to be able to make this card here, connections, newer connections and better connections with yourself, but also with others. There's the Eight of Wands here, which is talking about, this is eights for me are a now card. It's like sometimes, with the seven is about, there's a turning point of taking that next step of, creating, more of what you've already started, and just taking that next step. So, because, often sometimes we can get going, we take this step here and we're feeling really good, and then we get to, sometimes, not all the time, but get to another point where something may crop up, and it may hold you off a little bit, and you're considering or reconsidering, blah, 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 whatever that is. And then you sort it out, but then you get to this turning point, or we get to this turning point, and then it's like time to take the next step. So after being there for maybe a day or two, or whatever it is for you, might be an hour or a few minutes, but it's like now it's something about taking the next step, because towards what it is, or a leap or a jump into where, because he's leaping and he's following his dreams. Basically, he's following what he is, where he's the path of where he wants to go. Okay, those ideas, and exploring them, basically. The Justice card here, there's something about justice, like balancing the scales of justice. So there is, and it could be to do with something to do with, this love, and, or whatever it is. And I'm hearing, like, not just a love of passion with, a romantic lover, but yourself, and where you're taking yourself, and being more in love with who you are, and allowing yourself to express that. But also I'm hearing, with a secret love that you may have, a lover or something that may be coming forward, and this person within a relationship that you may be already in, it's like, or somebody coming in, whatever it is, it's like, and I feel like for some of it, I feel like some of you are looking at something that's happened in the past as well, that's maybe preventing you from doing that, or looking forward to allowing a love relationship to happen. So, but there is something about here, like that scales of justice. I'm feeling all the balancing in the mind, but also in the energy. But this is about you taking, action with, where you with your dreams now, and letting go, leaving the past behind, basically. Look at that, and we have the Fool and the Ace of Swords. So there's a different, the Fool is on top here. So there's something about, just letting something go and moving on, and taking in a way, not just a leap of faith, but it's more like just taking that next step forward and knowing into whatever, or the unknown, and then knowing that actually everything is going to be all right. Because here we have the Ace of Swords here, which talks about you being in your power, being in your truth, basically the sword of truth, but, you know, and shifting that perspective about, you know, like moving into the unknown, or moving into something that is known, but there is a little bit more that is unknown, because there's, you know, there's a certain sense of knowing that, yes, if I go this way, you know, this is where I want to go, and you know, you can unfold that and unravel that, but step into that, but you're not going to know unless you do take that step and explore it, or have that curiosity about moving forward, or moving into something, or making that change, or whatever it is. So the Ace of Swords is like, you know, there's a new way that you're thinking about that, but also a new way of, and you maybe like communicating, noticing that you're communicating differently because of the way that you're thinking about things. So this is about observation, observing yourself as to how you communicate with others, but also to yourself. So there's a whole, there's a lot of personal stuff going on in here, obviously, because it is personal for us, but in relationships, but with ourselves and with others, and how we communicate. So I'm hearing the word meditate, you know, that's a, you know, meditate. Some of you probably get sick of me saying that, but it's too bad I'm going to, because, you know, it is about stopping and stilling yourself, and to stop the mind, you know, and stopping the mind from all the stuff that's going on, so you can like just have center and then let it stop, so you can, you know, listen to what is, you know, it may be nothing, and that maybe all you need is like listen to absolutely nothing, and maybe like and to observe what the mind is saying. So is it serving you well, or is it not? Okay, so it's like so what are you going to do about these thoughts that keep coming up? You're going to, you know, I don't know, explore that, find out what that is about, you know, and, you know, and acknowledge what it is about, and then going in a little bit further to, you know, just, you know, where does that come from, you know, all those sorts of things, and then what comes of that. So, but generally just like taking that moment to just stop the mind, to come into this quiet space and center yourself, take a breath, so you can actually hear what the actual truth is. And you may even have a little laugh at yourself. You may have a giggle. You may have a cry. You may have a rant and a rave at yourself. But it's like, you know what? It's like the fact that you're doing that, and, you know, from my experience, is like I've acknowledged it. You know, you've acknowledged it. So, and then something else comes out from that. It's like, okay, what else? You know, where, how can I do that? So there's. That's a whole different video. So, you know, and that's what this is, where I feel like there's this, a different way, or a new way of thinking, or, you know, you're just starting to pull things together, some of yous, and so you can shift. And some of yous maybe even, you know, knowingly, you know, maybe even noticing how you are feeling and seeing things differently, and you get in there, and something happens, and you're about to say something, and it's like, whoa, actually I've clicked into that. I'm not gonna like entertain the idea to cause more friction, because you know what, I may be hurting myself. So, and some of you may even like just like, no, you know what, I'm not gonna bother, you know, with that, and, you know, and that's okay. So there is this, you know, and I feel like some of you with this energy and the vibration that we're in at the moment, it's like helping us to shift that. So and it may feel a little bit strange, but that's okay, because you're doing something different, and it's like and that's okay, or you're remembering something. So Spirit are reminding you about what it feels like, or the universe is reminding about what it feels like when you're in a good space. Okay, that's really cool. Yay! Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you now, Capricorn, because I'm going to be creating the ones coming into September in a couple of days. So, and the weekend ready to roll for next week. So, as we enter into September 2021. So this is really exciting. You know, the energy is lifted, and so just get that banter like in control, you could say, but just taking notice of it. That's part of, you know, like being, you know, mindful and aware of yourself and what's going on with you at the end of the day. Cool. Anyway, like I say, we'll leave that with you with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, adventure, and prosperity and abundance. Bye for now.